At the end of last year, in just like December 2023, I was talking to my friend and she said, want to do some like work on a drawing project, the idea that I have. It's just we'll commit to drawing for 10 hours a week. And I was like, yeah, I'd be interested in doing that because I haven't been doing many drawings. I've been doing mostly mixed media work, painting, collage, three-dimensional work. But drawing, which I used to do a lot more back in the early days, maybe in college, charcoal drawings and pencil drawings, but I hadn't really done, aside from sketchbook work, just doodles and sketchbooks, or figuring out compositions and concepts. I hadn't really done any drawings, so it's like, oh yeah, that's great. It'll be something new and different for me to tackle. So my initial idea was to, yes, I'm going to do 10 hours per week. And I thought, like most people would think, so you will draw for 10 hours, like, draw from life or draw from your head 10 hours and you time it. But I decided I needed to come up with some other structure where I could create a 10-hour drawing within 10 hours per week for a year was the structure. So I came up with this idea where I would do a drawing over 10 hours in one day. Technically, the action of drawing wouldn't be 10 hours, but it would be spread out over 10 hours. So I don't know how I came up with the numbers, but I decided I would draw, I would set my alarm for every 10 minutes on my phone. And at every alarm increment, I would draw a line on this 9x12 piece of paper. And I also wanted to break away from what I've been doing, with some of my paintings where it's more narrative or symbolic, or there's some sort of like human conflict or some sort of something going on. So I just wanted it to be more just about the act of making a mark. It just is what it is. So the first idea I had for the first week was just to draw a straight line across the bottom of the paper, and then in 10 minutes draw another one right above it. The only rule that I self-imposed myself, I was trying to draw as straight as possible, but no rules or any rulers. And I would try for the line not to overlap with the line below it. But if it did, it didn't matter. I mean, I was trying to get them close together. And then so at every 10-minute intervals, I would do another line across the bottom of the page. So these like little things I noticed, and the other things I noticed is like the angle of my pencil on the paper, the pressure, the weight of the line, the position of the hand, the position of the arm, the surface of the table, breathing, mood. If I had coffee beforehand, it might be a little more jittery. Things like that like affected every line. But after I finished the first one, I was like, all right, maybe I should do something different. So I just decided to do circles. So I would do a small circle at the very center of the page, and then each 10 minutes would do a concentric circle working outwards. But then I started also adding little changes in the structures or the ideas. I did one with my non-dominant hand, just to see like how that would affect it, and have to concentrate more, because to move the pencil across the paper, it took more time to do that. And then I did one with my eyes closed. I did one because I wear readers for up close. I did one without my readers on. So I put these different parameters within the already structured parameters. And I think part of that is also I just get a little bit obsessive, I want to have a structure and do this project, and that drives me to make the next one for this project. So yeah, it's about time, and it's also about they're kind of a record of that time that I make them, because if you look at them, they're some of them are darker and some are lighter. There's different things about them, but I wasn't trying to make this one's going to be darker, this one's going to be lighter, this one's going to be subtle, this one's going to be. It just was what happened during that 10-hour period. Even though the line might only take, less than a minute or whatever, it slows down time, and it's like, and I'm very aware of my breathing. I'm very aware of, the surface, and everything is slowed down. So it does become a little meditative. It becomes a little like the world disappears, and all I'm seeing is just like the little bit of lead going along the surface of the paper, and like everything else disappears. So the way that they're installed in the show is chronological. It starts at the first drawing, and then so each one represents a week. Each one represents 10 hours of a certain part of that week, but they're chronological, so it's the first 33 weeks of that project. But yeah, if you look in the room, it's basically like a diary of my those 33 weeks. And things it went from like personal things go on in my life. So all these things are in those drawings, but they're not there. But they're there because they're affecting me. So I can look back at these and I know that they're in those weeks, but no one else would know it. But it's just they're in there.